Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wahyu Ningsih. I'm from PBI 4B class. My goal in making this video is to fulfill the final exam in the syntax course with the lecturer, Mr. Nazar MPD. In this video, I will explain about what is syntax and then classification of words, phrase, clause, and the last, grammatical functions. Syntax is the part of linguistics that studies the structure and formation of sentence. Buzzwords are words that carry lexical meaning or provide information about object, action, qualities, or states. They can be divided into four main categories. Nouns, words used to refer to people, place, things, or concepts. For example, car, house, students, and boy. Boy is a noun that refers to a person. Verbs. Verbs is words that denote actions, process, or states. For example, run, eat, read, sleep. This is an action word, so it is called a verb. Adjective. Adjective words that provide information about the qualities or characteristics of nouns. Examples: short, handsome, intelligent, happy. Adjectives are used to provide description or information about nouns. Adverbs. Words that give additional information about manner, place, time, or circumstance of an action or event. For examples, quickly and slowly include adverb of manner, namely explaining how the action is carried out, while the word well is used to modify the verb. And then here include the adverb of place used to explain where an action occurs. Phrase. Phrase is a group of words which contain meaning yet is not a sentence. In other words, phrase does not contain a subject and a verb. It can be noun, verb, adjective, and adverbs. Types of phrase. The first, noun phrase, is a new word or new words phrase combined from several words to explain the noun. Noun phrase means a phrase in the form of an object. For example, the cat, a boy, some pencils. It is a collection of several words, not just one word. Verb phrase is a group of words that action or represent themselves as verb. For examples, before leaving, has finished. It is a combination of phrases which contain the verb, and will go is in auxiliary verbs or auxiliary verbs, which is often used in the present future tense. Adverb phrase are groups of words that function as adverb to clarify the meaning of the sentence as a whole. Adverb phrase typically can answer a question how, where, why, or when something is happening. For example, very slowly. This word means answering the question how, while in the house states the question where. Adjective phrase. Adjective phrase is a phrase that makes the adjective the head of the phrase. For example, very good. Good have a class of words which are adjective, while very are adverb of degree. And the adjective here works as the head, while the adverb of degree functions as a modifier. Prepositional phrase is a combination of two or more words that provide information about a place, time, or condition. Clause. Clause is a group of words containing subject and predicate. If it has a meaning called independent clause, but if it cannot stand alone, called dependent clause.
For example, after the rain stopped. Well, this has no meaning or cannot stand alone. It has to be there because after the rain stops, what does it mean after the rain stops? What happens? This sentence cannot stand alone, so there must be a follow-up sentence, so it is called a dependent clause. Next, an example of an independent clause, like this.
If the rain has stopped, you sleep early. It is standalone. It does not matter even though there is no following clause. But if dependent clause is the one, it has to be followed by another clause to make it a good sentence. Sentence. Sentence is a group of words which contain subject, verb, object, and complement. A simple sentence has one subject-verb pair. The subject tells who or what did something. The verbs tell the action. Jump, work, think, or condition is, was, seem, appear. A simple sentence is a sentence that has a pair of subject and verbs. The subject describes who did it, something, while her verbs describe an action or condition. For example, Anna has watched the movie many times. The series of words has one pair, the subject and verbs, so can mention as a sentence. A compound sentence is two or more independent clauses joined together.
For example, they watch TV and I read a novel. This is a compound sentence because consists of two independent clauses. The first independent clause is they watch TV, and the second independent clause is the I read novel.
A complex sentence is a sentence that consists of one independent clause or single sentence and one or more dependent clause.
For example, because she had free time during last holiday is in the verb clause, while he rearranged her house is a dependent clause.
Compound complex sentence structure is a sentence that consists of two independent clause and dependent clause.
For example, while she is doing her laundry, James is reading the novel, and Lucky is driving the comic book. From this sentence, we can break it down one by one in more detail. The first sentence will say, while she is doing her laundry is dependent clause because the sentence cannot stand alone and will not have any meaning when said independently. Meanwhile, the two sentences that follow, namely, James is reading a novel and Lucky is drawing a comic book, are independent clause because, in theory, if we separate these two sentences independently, they still have relevant meanings and do not become strange.
Grammatical function is the syntactic replay by word or phrase in the context of a particular clause or sentence. Sometimes called simply functions. In English, grammatical function is primarily determined by a word's position in a sentence, not by inflection or words endings. A subject is a part of a sentence that contains the person or thing performing the action or verb in a sentence.
For example, Jennifer walked to the store. Jennifer is the subject here because she is the person.
Direct object is the noun or noun phrase that's receiving the action of the verb.
For example, Brenna enjoyed oysters and nasty for dinner. Here, the subject is Brenna and the verb is enjoy. So, Was it brilliant? Enjoy or story? And a nice day.
The indirect object of a sentence is the recipient of the direct object. The direct object is the thing being acted on by the verb.
Example, Paula pays her father. The parcel her father is the indirect object because he is the recipient of the direct object. The parcel, the last grammatical function.
Oblique object. Any noun phrase that is the complement of a preposition.
For example, she wrote a message to Sam. Sam is the complement of a preposition.
That's all I can say. Sorry if there are any wrong words. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.